What's up, guys? This is my Acceleracers theory tier list. Basically, I've gone over so many theories on my channel. I have depleted every single theory. You think there's a theory out there? I've already done it. And also, I read all the comments, and some of y'all are like, dude, make more Acceleracers long format videos. I can't. I've exhausted all the ideas. Plus, there's no new Acceleracers content coming out besides, like, gosh damn NFTs. Who cares about NFTs? But, I literally can't. But just know I've been trying to pump out Acceleracers content, especially with, like, this theory tier list and all the shorts that I make. And, yeah, if you didn't know, I make a I've made a stream on Kick, so, like, follow that, if you want to. I won't be doing Acceleracers content, though, because I've been trying to branch out to just everything in general, you know. But without further ado, I'll be judging this tier list based on the correctness of each theory and how much, like, not production I put into it, but how much, like, IQ thinking it takes. But let's get into the video. Now, the first theory I would like to talk about is Dan Dresden a silencer? I think that's, you know, pretty obvious. Overall, it's pretty correct in the line of thinking. However, the evidence I use is actually, you know, pretty good. You know how the symbolism of Dan Dresden, you know, being a better leader, better driver from the world race, replacing Kurt as a leader, only symbolizes him using Iridium, which is basically just a better slingshot. Like, that is a giant slap to the face. And I honestly think that's a high B tier theories. Note that, like, some of these will change based on what other videos I put down here, of course, but I honestly think that's a high B tier video, you know, just about, like, almost 75% of being good. The next video is The Drivers Are Dead. Now, honestly, you don't really have to think much about this. Just the amount of, like, crashes they go into, that they should be dead. Honestly, that's just a C tier theory. You know, anyone can do it. No one really has to think about it. Overall, it would be correct. But yeah, that's just, like, low C tier, to be honest. The next video is the drones weren't made for the realms. You know, every single drone that enters the realm dies for no reason, you know, just randomly, you know, an electric bolt goes which very well could have been any of our human drivers, but just isn't any of the time. So, you know, you wouldn't really have to think much about it. Maybe it's a low B tier theory. It very well, like, there's a very high chance it could be correct. The evidence used is pretty good. Overall, you know, not much thinking involved there. Maybe a high C tier theory because of the correctness, but with a low level plane of thinking. The next theory we have is the secret of the Wheel of Power. Now, honestly, this is an A to S tier theory video, mainly because it requires a high level of thinking, and there's a high likelihood it could be correct. Each ring represents each civilization that has gone through the events of World Race and Acceleracers, hence why they get a 4th ring at the end of the series. Like, how big IQ is that? And honestly, it very well could be correct, and that requires, like, a high level of thinking. Maybe low A, high A, maybe even, you know, low S probably. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but, you know, I very well might change it based on all the other videos. And first of all, let us go into the next theory, which is why Vert landed in the Silencers HQ. Now, I think this is just a C tier theory, mainly because there's a low chance, maybe like a half chance it could be correct, but the thinking went into it was actually pretty good. Basically, the rules for entering a portal: you exit out the portal, you enter. However, if that portal is not available, then you enter another portal based on, you know, what materials your car have, how similar they are to other cars that have entered that other portal that is not your own portal. And I think I said that he landed in the Silencer's HQ because of the beryllium engine, and basically only Silencer cars use beryllium engines, except Reverb, which is why he landed in Silencer's HQ. Now, could have Gig programmed it? Yes, that's why it's a half chance correct. Maybe it's either high C tier theory, to be honest. Like, that requires a high level of thinking. I think that's actually like a pretty good video. Now, moving on, I think I actually might put this low A, because yeah, I just think it's low A, to be honest. Now, where are the racing realms? I think, you know, this was just a random video trying to connect all the realms. No real evidence involved, just based on like how similar the biomes are, where the biomes could outreach to. This was not that good of a theory. It was a fun theory, but not that good of a theory. Overall correctness can, I don't think it was that correct. There's a very low chance it could be correct. And you didn't really have to think about it, you just had to go, oh, this looks similar to this, which could explain to this. Like, I think that's a low tier video, to be honest. Now, how about the Kurt versus Taro video? Honestly, it's not really a theory, but I'd still place it like C tier-ish. Like, who's the better driver based on like experiences and actual shown driving skill? Everyone knows Taro's the best driver. Everyone knows that Kurt is also one of the best, but Taro's just better, mainly because of his consistency and such things like that. Now, what about, did Tesla know about the Ultimate Race? One of my newer theories. I honestly think that, it's pretty good. This video is, well, didn't require that much thinking, but it could very well be, there's a high chance it could be correct. Like, why would he leave the two best drivers for the last realm? Also, it connects to other theories, which I'll discuss later, but like, it just doesn't make sense. Why not put Kurt and Taro for the last realm to win the last Acceleracharger? And it just explains how he knew it was the last realm, you know? I think that's a high B tier, maybe even low A tier, to be honest. Even though, yeah, maybe high B. I'll put high B for now. For the lost technology of the Silencer's video, where basically just like compare like how Tesla stole technology from the Silencers, or the Silencers stole technology from Tesla and basically upgraded it. You know how like there was like the EMP blast from one of the street breed ones, and just small stuff like that, like the inverted jet boosters. I honestly think that's a low B tier video, because it's either one of the two. It's a low B tier video. There's a high chance it could be correct, like a very high chance, mainly because Tesla did work with the Silencers, hence why Scrim was a thing. I just think that's a low B tier video. Now, with the next similar one, where Golem stole Tesla's technology, you know, to do with like the adaptive wheels, we know that one of the, what do you call it, Dune Rat vehicles had adapting wheels, and maybe Golem could have stolen that, and that's why the drones have this. But the drones have been around like way before that, so I just think that's wrong, but it's still like a high level of thinking. So I just think that's one of the lower tier videos. Overall correctness, I don't think that's very correct, but it's one of the lower tier videos, to be honest. Yeah, this is definitely looking okay. This tier list is actually looking alright, to be honest. What about why didn't the Silencers use the Acceleracers? I think this is a high tier A video, mainly because it explains so many things. It explains like why they were so resilient to use Accelerachargers, mainly just because they didn't need it, nor didn't want to lose them, much like Tesla. But like, it also explains so many other things, you know? I'll get to that later when I do the other 3 videos to rate. The next video I will put on the tier list is How did the silencers get into the drones HQ? Now, overall, I just said it was because I used the word race portals. That's just wrong, because those were closed when the events of Acceleracers started. So I just think that's wrong. But it did require a bit of thinking, more so than were the racing realms, even though it's just wrong. Anyway, the next video I will put onto the tier list is the true purpose of Golem. That is just S tier. The amount of thinking required to put that theory together, Golem being the catalyst for everything that happens, all of which is being the Acceleracers' plan in the first place, that is just S tier. And and there's actually like a high likelihood that could be correct as well. So that just goes S tier immediately. Like, honestly, S tier. What about is Alec Wood RDL1? You know, it very well could be correct, even though it isn't. The amount of actually thinking involved, you know, to do with this, like why he doesn't interact, the evidence isn't really that strong. So I think that's a high C tier video, you know, 60% correct, like, even though it's not correct, because we know Alec Wood is a Heinzer. Maybe, yeah, it's definitely lower than this, lower than this. Actually, the thinking involved is actually higher than that. So yeah, I think that's below the Teku car. Anyway, next we have the true location of Hot Wheels City. Now, this is just an S tier video, because it explains why Kadeem was captured. Also, how Golem got to the Accelerodrome, even though there is no explanation of that. Maybe even a low A tier video. A high tier A, I can't speak, a high tier A video. It's definitely up there. Definitely one of the best. It definitely explains a lot of things, especially like to do with like the ice realm and why. Actually, yeah, that's a strong piece of evidence, you know, why Golem's visions were in the ice realm for Taro and stuff. I just think that's an S tier video as well. S tier for the amount of thought and how correct it could be. Definitely S tier. Also, it's similar to that, but not in the same way. What about Karma is Golem? It's not really. People didn't really watch the video. They were just like, "Oh, Karma is not Golem." Like, obviously, I didn't mean that. How else am I gonna get? How else are people gonna view it if they, you know? But like, I didn't actually say that. But they're from the same place. Almost, they're from the Accelerons, obviously. I just think that's a C tier video, honestly. I mean, the evidence used, I don't think there was much evidence used, but it is a good thinking. I mean, all the evidence is there. But people, why do people do this? People, I hate it. I hate it. Since I read every comment, I like every comment, just about. People are dumb. Okay? People comment, like, it's so annoying and dumb. People, like, comment on my video what I said in the video. Like it's their idea, even though I literally had it in the video, and they just comment what my theory was. So I go like, oh, it's so annoying. Like, I go like, the Accelerons, I'm like, Golem was the true catalyst, was used by the Accelerons to find the best driver, and then someone just comments that down. I'm like, bro, that's what I made the video for. Like, oh my, it's so annoying. But you know, it's fine. But it's not fine. It's not fine. Like, it's not. The next video we have is Harrison Lau is RDL1. Who is RDL1? Now, if we look at like the fact that I had to go like to the lore of the World Race comics, maybe that's a low B tier theory. Overall correctness, very low chance, maybe a mid chance that it's correct, mainly because, you know, we all know how symbolism is with Acceleracers, and that comic was like, oh, you have failed me, and then, you know, just before the Swan Run, it's like, oh, you have failed me, you know, that's not a strong piece of evidence. That's why the level of thinking is like low B tier, because the evidence isn't good, but the level of thinking is pretty gosh damn high. Now, what about the timeline video? That is probably one of the best high level thinking, high evidence, not really high evidence, but everything fits in so well, and it just works, you know? It just works and explains everything. It explains almost all my other theories, like the Golem worked with the sciences theory. That is also an S tier theory. That goes above almost every video except the timeline theory. It just explains. It also explains how the scientists knew when to steal the Acceleracers. It explains why Golem knew to also steal the Acceleracers. It explains why Kurt Wilde had the transformation technology of the literally the prototype transformation technology of the sciences, even though he got it from Golem, which is Clip. It explains everything. It explains everything, and you can't tell me I'm wrong for that. And there's actually a really high chance that it could be correct. Now, to do with, you know, why were they chosen to be the leaders of the royal race? That's definitely one of the lower tier videos, to be honest. Like, everybody can, like, think about, oh, Vert's young. Vert has, you know, new aspects to racing. You know, oh, Taro, he's calm, blah, blah, blah. Kurt, obviously, you know, Kadeem, you know, he's racing for everything, you know? Just stuff like that. That's a low tier theory, to be honest. What about how did Golem find the Accelerator? Now, honestly, the evidence used isn't that deep. That's probably like a C tier theory, to be honest. Maybe it's definitely lower than these ones. Like, if you just watch the clip in the Cliffside realm, you would know. It's pretty kind of obvious. Now, to do with like Marky telling her the location, come on, there was literally a transmission. It was a half transmission, but that's definitely enough to know the location. This also signals that it's on Earth, where you can't transmit this through a... You know what? It's fine. It's fine. And my last video that I'm rating is, what did the Accelerons leave behind? Now, I said it was like Karma, maybe even Golem. Since I had 7 theories out there, it kind of rates lower, if that makes sense, since it's like, overall, like, the thinking is like diluted and correct. Actually, the thinking is good, but the correctness is diluted since I had like 7 theories. I said it was like knowledge of cars, night trucks, stuff like that for the 7 theories. Overall, you know, that could be correct, but it's diluted because I had 7 theories in it. But looking at all the videos, I do think I think this works for... Maybe it goes down here. It doesn't matter. I definitely think this is, you know, a solid... Not solid, but like, it's an ideal... Not ideal. I definitely think it's a good start to like where each theory lands on like a theory tier list. Basically, almost like the iceberg of theories, to be honest. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.